Hey guys, Harry here, back with another Bricklaying vlog. Today you're seeing a bit more footage from me building some blockwork at the second gable we did. The last video you saw me building the first gable. This is the second gable. Obviously, brickwork's up. Obviously, I'm always doing brickwork first, following the plan that we set out, weeks ago. And this is just how I go about building a corner freehand where there's a radon barrier, not messing about. 4-inch damp under it, radon barrier, the works on this one. So I like to do my cuts first, and if you're wondering why, I'm cutting 100 mils or 90 mils, I've already got the bond set out from the other gable. So I did the other gable, backed it with blockwork, for stability reasons. And now I'm doing the same with this one, just following the same bond. I didn't have my skill saw on this day. I've got a DeWalt skill saw now, a brushless one. The old man's currently got that in his house. I'm not using it yet until I've got, until I really need to eat. I'm using his old Headcam until then. But then when I get my DeWalt one, it should make easy work of them compared to the Headcam. The Headcam is old. It's not as powerful. But and as well, like I say, wet weather, winter weather, it's not bad using a skill saw. They don't create a lot of dust, but we know when it's summer, it's not the nicest thing to use. And then obviously, just sometimes you can use an hammer and bolster anyway. Cut your cuts first, especially if you're doing easy running in gables and stuff. You ain't got to really worry about a lot of cuts. So as you can see here, I just brushed my damp off, got a lot of crap off of it. Obviously, a lot of this was left for days with gazebo sat on it, so it's a bit stained, a bit dirty. And then I'm just cutting up to the brick here, one layer of radon barrier so I can get my block under, and then I cut the underside layer of radon barrier. It's all lapped completely, up to the face of the brick. So, you're only getting that one join there. It's lapped by over 100 mil easily, at least 200. So you've got that lap there. Obviously, a lot of places are wanting you to seal this with some tape. Some places they have corner trays. They end up getting some corner trays after I'd done my plot. I didn't want to start using them just half on one side, so I just carried on lapping the damp as I do. But these are going to be, obsolete now. They're going back to the drop zone, which is very nice. On the next plot, we aren't going to mess around with any of this. This is all time. This radon barrier is costing you a good couple hours, probably 2 to 3 hours at least per plot, just rolling it out, and then you've got probably 2 or 3 hours cleaning it per plot. So it's saving you half a day really, not having a radon barrier, which is, with the new management that's come on, they've been pulling a bit of my work, not been happy with what they've been highlighting, and it's it's something that just makes the job a bit more bearable than since new management's come on. I've had a few pulls on the brickwork, fucking a couple of bricks about 1.5 mm, 2 mil off the level in areas, and leaving bricks out of meter boxes for easy access, but then I'm pulling it because it don't look as it looks like it's they're not liking all the bricks out everywhere. It's just difficult really, but getting rid of this radon barrier, it's a step in the right direction. There's plenty of work for us here, so I'm just putting up with it at the time being. At the end of the day, they're not going to knock it down. Let's put it that way. I think my work's a cut above the rest when it comes to just regular price workers on site. And at the end of the day, like an old bricklayer I know says, they're not going to knock the fucker down, so carry on building. You've got to take it with a pinch of salt sometimes on site. You ain't got to think you're sending the fucking neatest bricklayer, the best bricklayer in the world. You've just got to sort of just think, I'm a bricklayer, I'm here to earn money. Don't sweat the small stuff. Here I got a bond opposite, so I had to change it. But as I said, don't sweat the small stuff. Gauge level pump, anything beyond that, don't fucking worry if it's nitpicky comments. I've had nitpicky shit. Take a brick off here, take a brick off there. That looks like it's leaning, and it's just stuff you've got to take with a pinch of salt. I've had it fucking constantly over years. We're having a bit of new management come on, wants to make a fucking make a name for themselves or whatever, and they come out with some nice stuff. You just gotta roll your eyes and carry on. That's the biggest thing. You ain't gotta kick up a stink and fucking go, oh, I've been doing this so many fucking years. Just go, all right, pal, yeah, whatever. Laugh to yourself and carry on. Keep slashing. But yeah, also in this video, new trowel using the 9-inch W Rose Narrow London. 58 quid I paid for this bastard, but it's worth it. Very good trowel. I know it's not a 23 quid Tyzac, but it is good. There is quality for the size is ideal. Great for block work, great for brickwork. You know, especially with me, because now I've got everything to hand. You know, 2 odd carry, you know, 1.5 odd carry, 1.5 odd carriers really, all the time. You know, I'm doing a trowel. It's just my trowel never leaves my hand, and my trowel arm never hurts now. My trowel shoulder never hurts. The only thing that hurts now is my brick hand. So my brick arm, brick shoulder, that's what's getting the strain now. And it just shows having a nice light trowel makes a big difference. I'm using the soft handle, really good lift on it, really good handle. Just a bit thicker than the Tyzac actually, which I prefer now. I go back to using the Tyzac and it feels a bit awkward. I feel like I'm over gripping. Here's an attempt at taping it. This is how I'd normally do it. Black gaffer tape, you know, tape it all the way around. It wasn't sticking today, so I ended up having a few attempts, see if I could get something to stick and then over tape it. But it just wasn't happening. Too much damp, too much sand on the damp, too much dirt. It's just not going to stick. It wet weather, it's not going to. You might as well just leave it and then try and do it another day. Try and do it when the house is built. If you know ever coming to clean your trays out for whatever reason, you know, just tape it on them. You know, no one will penalise you for it. Look here, try it, have a look. I think, yeah, fuck that. Not going to stick. I think I tried 3 times, do I? Here we are, let's see if the 4th one, I'm like, come on, this 4th one's got to stick. Ready? Straight off. Let's have a look. Flap straight off. Nah, I thought I'd give up, I thought, fuck that. Straight in corner. But yeah, you know, it isn't necessary really taping. Some, you know, some places are wanting it, some places aren't. Obviously the corner trays we weren't going to use them because we didn't start with them. But we won't have to worry about this anymore. So yeah, it's self-explanatory here. So I put another brick on because of this corner barrier. I wanted to make sure it was trapped, so I put another block on here. And then I just plumb that up and I've got a nice little base to start from. You know, it is sometimes better to do your block work first when you're in this situation with a radon barrier, but because of this gear we're using these concrete bricks, I can't take any risk trying to lay them in the wet. They've already pulled me enough laying them in the dry because we take them up for like, you know, 22 course in one go. And, you know, they're already having a go at us because of the gear. I'm just trying to do myself as many favours as I can, starting in the, starting to do the brickwork first when it's good weather. So we'll do block work. We'll end up doing block work first if it's wet weather on that starting date, but it just depends. Just we'll work with the weather at the moment. So that's it. That's it for the block laying. Also, gazebos. We used it today. We got, if you see my posts on the YouTube channel, we've got about 100 blocks down. Built the back and some jack walls, big tail out, everything like that. Worked well. I've ordered another one. £52 on Amazon. I got it for £10 delivery, 60 quid total. Oh, sorry, £49.99 actually. I got a green one. So we've got 2 of them coming. Dean bought one and I bought one because he was really keen on getting, you know, at least 4 days a week, and you know he wants to get as many full weeks as he can. He even wants to work Saturday for lose days in the week, which I don't mind doing. I don't like to work Saturday, but if people are wanting to work and they don't mind getting a bit wet or they don't mind messing about with gazebos and shit, I will work when we can. You know, sometimes there isn't any opportunities to use a gazebo. It takes a lot of organisation, a lot of planning, a lot of you know using it on the right types of work, the right bits. But I will do it when I can. I will work, you know, avoiding the rain. Like today, I didn't get wet at all. It was probably the heaviest day I've ever worked and got actually a work done. We laid about 100 and odd blocks in morning, 150 blocks in morning, probably 100 blocks in afternoon. You know, we did pretty well. You know, easy enough for a full day's wage for everyone, you know. especially these prices. I think I did a bit more than $250 to be honest, but I'm paying my son a little bit less than day work at the moment every day. I'm not a limited company or anything. I book my son in less than what we've done a lot of the time. I just give everyone a chance to, prove to me, like, that we're making wages. So I'm slowly ramping it up, and every week we're making us money easier and easier. So you ain't got to really what a lot of bricklayers do is they'll start in a gang and they're not earning fucking £1,000 a week or £1,500 a week in the first couple of weeks, and then they're getting stressed, their heads down, they're not fucking, they think their gang ain't working when, if they're in working with the bricklayers, obviously that's another whole kettle of fish. But if you got a new wad carrier, you've got to give them time, for the teamwork synergy to come along, and then that's when you start earning your money off of them. In the later times, it might be a month or two down the line, but it's worth taking that small pay cut for a couple of months, and then you only make it back tenfold and when everything starts clicking. But yeah, it's an investment. It's an investment into your employees in a sense, or your hod carriers or apprentices. I think someone left a comment saying $12.50 for a brick is not very much, and I said it, and I left them a comment saying it's for an apprentice or hod carrier. No experience, but people don't like to read the full comments. They just like to leave troll comments. But yeah, I'm trying to work when I can, really. All weather. I'm doing it for them more than me, because my missus, she needs to get paid. She wants a wage. Dean wants a wage. And us as bricklayers in this climate, I've only got to work I can easily live on 3 days a week money, but everyone else, it becomes, the wages get severely reduced since they're just on a day wage. So people want a full-time wage, and I'll try my best. There's not always times we can do it, but when we can, I'll give everyone the opportunity to load up for half a day. I don't mind paying everyone to load up for half a day, as long as we're going to make up some we're going to work till 5 the next day, or we're going to make up some of that time where I'm giving money away in a sense. Obviously we're all loaded out in front normally anyway with two of us, so there's not really much opportunity unless we're doing a fat start or a fresh plot, which it is worth me to do. But everyone's sort of getting a bit quicker now, so we're not having as much of an issue. I think we're as good on blockwork synergy as we are on brick now. I ain't got a chance to teach Dean to lay blocks yet, since we've been on a lot of just fiddly bits at the moment. There's not been a lot of straight runs for him to get on block. And a lot of time with all this pointing and stuff, pointing backs, pointing fronts, you're all on fucking doing that as it is. So and even now, like, Dean loads out sometimes in the wrong place because he just doesn't know, how you do it in a certain situation. Whereas, like Mel prefers to just work with me, passing me stuff, speeding me up. Whereas Dean, he's showing where to put everything, and then he'll just crack on with that for an hour or so. So I'm just finding out what everyone does best. It's whoever you're working with, especially if they're hod carriers or apprentices, you've got to find out the strengths and weaknesses, and what they prefer to do, and they'll perform better doing that. So that's what I'm doing at the moment, finding out how everyone works, but everyone seems happy enough, and it's less stress on my part. Everything's to hand really. I had to load out my own boards this morning because we had a bit of a late start. Well, I didn't have a late start. Everyone else turned up late because they got all stuck on the A1. The missus had to go back and drop Young at her mum's, and then she got stuck at A1. Then Dean did. So they had a late start, so I had to load the boards up on my own and get a couple of Salcon blocks off of a stack, and I felt like a cripple. So it's hard going being an oddie when you're not used to it, but I've done it for years, working solo, part-time one-on-one. I'm not missing having to get my own gear now. I just like laying. Here's another part of the fucking annoying part of radon barriers, leaving your blocks out. I always lay them in first, and then I take the block out. I find it gives it makes it easier to get that first, that second course down. Then I'll just stick it back in dry, and then I'll wall over the top of it. It's annoying, kills time, but just for this plot, this is what we've had to do. Next houses will be a lot different. Obviously no radon barrier, just back to traditional drop zone. That'll be a lot better. It'll make the houses worth building in a sense, because it's just a nightmare. The radon barrier, when it's been so popular around where we've been working for so long, just so happy that we don't have to use one of them anymore, hopefully, in the coming weeks. That'll be a lot nicer. Just a lot less stressing. You know, cavity is stressful, Jesus. So here we're tailing blockwork out to door jamb, what are we going to call it. We're using traditional reveal block method, so we're building the reveals ourselves basically. We're not using any thermobate or formers, which is a bit of a ball ache. They did say they were going back to formers that aren't in check, but at the moment we're doing traditional cut a 190 or a 200. I like to leave me gap for me insulated damp at least 25mm. So really, with a 125 cavity, I've only got to cut a 200. That gives me 25mm, but I'm doing a 190 because, you know, sometimes, you know, your block can tip a little bit. Your cut can be inaccurate within 10mm. So if you leave an extra 10mm and easily get your insulated damp in, then if they're wanting that gap filling, we can always point it, you know, at a later date, or the pre-plaster man can always do it, because this firm we're working for as a patching team, we'll go around doing all this patching. Obviously any externals, I think we have to do externals, they just do internal, so that's quite good. The internal patches are ball ache anyway. I don't leave really any pinholes or anything out into it externally anyway. So hopefully that'll continue. And then obviously I leave my door jambs back. Everyone's leaving them about 25. I left them 25mm back years ago, so I think I left them about 20mm, 20 to 25mm, just gives extra bit of space for them to get the door in. You know, I always like to leave some at 5mm big than, you know, 5mm tight, because it's just easier. They can always put a bit of feb foam in, foam the door up, you know, even put a bit of wood up the side of the door frame if it's a little bit big, to fix it onto. But if it's too small, you've got a problem. You've got to end up altering it and cutting, and it's just a ball ache. So I always leave everything, the door openings a little bit bigger. Some places, prefer it, you know what I mean, but that's what I like to do. I like that there's no formers, to be honest. It's just one less bit of kit I've got to go get. For instance, tomorrow, I don't need to get any formers for the back. There's no windows on the back. I think there's no windows on. I'm 99% sure there isn't. So all I've got to do tomorrow is turn up, build the back up, and then I'll probably get some formers after snap when I go into the front, because I'm going to do, since it's clear weather tomorrow, I'm going to do brickwork up back, because I've already took blockwork up 5 anyway, and 7 course gets us level with the brickwork at full height. So 5, it's only 6 course above your block there, so that'll be fine to go up there. And then I'm going to jump onto the front, and I'll do brickwork first again, which I like. The one big gripe I have actually about blockwork first is that first course of block, if the concrete isn't set right, and the cavities, you know, they've got a little bit, you know, wide on the cavities, and you've got to, like, you know, lay a bit into the cavity. Oh, I got it, your first course of block tips all over. And I saw Charlie's video talking about that the other day, and I thought, fuck me. You know, when I was doing it today, this blockwork first, bear in mind it was pissing it down, like, so obviously that makes it harder, but you still get that even when it's dry, whether the block tipping and you're having to lay another block up against it at the back. It's just frustrating, which, and you never seem to get with brickwork first, because that tie wire, you know, I never bend my ties. This is one thing that I see fucking lads doing it, bricklayers bending the ties upwards. Never bend them, because number one, reason I don't bend my ties, you know, you lose that rigidity of your tie, where that tie's going to hold your block on your first course now, and your second course, and wherever you're walling up to. Your tie keeps your block where it, you know, stable. And another reason I don't do it is these ties don't go in very deep to your brick. You know, they're only sitting 50mm, 60mm into your brick. You bend that and it can loosen your you know, the tie wire, and then it becomes a bit slack. And then when you bend it back, it can, and with the ready mix being so weak as well, it don't go off properly for like a good week or two, proper. You can easily pull your ties out a week after you've laid, easily. You know, and then if you're bending ties as well, you're putting strain on your brickwork, and these bricks are fucking terrible. They'll move like a week after you laid them. So you've got to I just don't like bending them, and I did bend them once. I bent them up and I wore the brick in wrong course because the tie wire were bent. If I keep them straight, I know which course the ties are for. It's just a bad habit people do. I never bend my ties. People try to bend them out of the way, but I give myself more space around my work. The reason why people bend ties is they load the gear too close to the wall, don't leave themselves enough working room. What a bricklayer say, I want the gear right next to me so I can grab it, but you can still grab it. You've just got to fucking extend your arm and grab it instead of fucking tripping over it, which I always frustrated me learning as a young bricklayer, because I was never really that small. I think lightest I ever was like 14 stone, and I'm now over 18 stone, and I've been for the last 6 years of my bricklaying career, probably longer, and I always frustrated me tripping over the gear, banging my shins into the blocks, into the stacks of bricks. Leave your sense space. It don't matter how fucking small you are, how big you are, you need a good space to work in. There's no sense tripping over your own gear. Here you can see me again, just fushing some joints up, and then I'll point them. I think I'm pointing them here with joints there. You can see how I do it. It's a ball ache, don't get me wrong. That's what this new management's wanting me to do. If I'm building brickwork first, that was their condition, and they still don't like it. I do brickwork first because they like to pull me brickwork now, any chance they get. So, you know, I had one at charge and sliding a piece of paper down back at level. I thought, what? But I just rolled my eyes and carried on. I just said, well, that's good enough. I just carried on anyway. You can't always take them too seriously. It's just a bit of a power move sometimes. But yeah, you know, this is why I do brickwork first. It's just easier. I find it easier. Everything's there. You ain't got to keep gauging as well. Whereas if your brickwork's set, like I knew my blockwork and brickwork were basically level within a few mil, and as long as my next two beds on my blockwork are 10 mil, you know, to reach me 9, I can get that brickwork bang onto gauge. I ain't got to keep going around with a gauge lat or checking everything. If I know my blockwork's within 5 or 10 mil of that brickwork, easily good enough. Well, 5 mil. If you're within 5 mil of that brickwork, you ain't got to worry. All you've got to do is check your datums from your damp then. So you're going to make sure your corners are all running more or less the same level. What I like to do also, just write the measurement on the brick, a bit like you would obviously on a footing. If you were using a laser level, just measure it with your tape, write it on the brick with a bit of pencil, and then, you know, or on the Celcom block with a bit of permanent marker or something that won't wash off. And then when you get up on your square round lift, you just quickly look over on your last block you laid, or on the face of the last block you laid, and you can see every measurement for every corner and what you've got to, you know, what height you've got to reach. And then you just check out your window formers, obviously. Check everything's working, and you know, you're not far wrong. It's a bit of an easier way than using a laser level like you see Charlie doing in his videos. Just quickly tape measure, write the measurement on, and just mark the measurement. And if every measurement's the same, you know you can now, you're at a level stage, and you can just go from there with your window formers and your heights. Make sure you just run into gauge then. You know, you ain't got to sweat about getting everything to fucking a couple of mil. You know, sweating about, oh, let me measure this corner, then measure this corner, how much is this? If just get everything to the same height, even if that means the plot's all 5 mil high, or 10 mil high, for instance. If it's all at the same height, it's level. So, then, on your square round lift, then you either say, right, we're going to grind down 10 mil, or we're going to pick up 10 mil to suit as formers if his silhouettes have gone 10 mil high. It always happens, it can do with the tolerances of the gear. That's what I like to do. And yeah, I find it easy that way. Also, these Celcom blocks, they have a keyed face and a keyed fucking head joint, and it's just a ball ache sometimes to keep these blocks nice. They don't cut very well when you're building them. They're a bit fucking floaty, these 440s, but they do well in wet weather, so I'm happy with using them. So yeah, that's about it. I put a couple more blocks on, just to underside a window, and then I always leave the briquettes off till last. I do that last thing, more or less, the briquettes, and I'll just prop a few dummy briquettes underneath to hold my window frame next time when I get onto that. So that's basically how I go about building a blockwork corner when I'm doing brickwork first with a radon barrier. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'm back to normal recording tomorrow or day after, and you should be probably next footage you see will be me doing I'll either build some table lifts, because not a lot of people build table lifts on film. I might build some table lifts because I've left myself a day's work, and I think I'll easily be able to get them done early if I smash it with 2 odd carriers. I've left enough money for us all on there, so hopefully a nice early finish on them tables if I just smash them out. So yeah, and that's about me for this week. Next video probably going to be on Friday. Probably some bit more corner building footage, I think. Might be a short one. I might get some more in the meantime as well to add to it, and then should be in full swing. Try to get back to daily videos again. By the time you're seeing, should be on a fresh plot, I would have thought. So I bet we've got, let me ever think of how long we've got this. So tomorrow, back up full height, front up, half height, then some block work. That's a day. And then finish up as back and front block work. There's front brickwork. Run as jack walls in 2 days. And take as gable at full height and finish as jack wall full height. 3 days. I think we've got 3 more days left on this. So if we work all day Thursday, might have to do table list Friday. If we work Saturday, probably Tuesday, Wednesday next week we'll be on a fresh plot, depending on if we lose any more time with weather. So you'll be seeing some fresh content probably by Monday, Tuesday next week. Maybe some top table lift content. So yeah, that's about it. So hope everyone's enjoying the video. I'm going to do a bit more of an in-depth video on how to use gazebos a bit more effectively. I've got we'll have another 2 on site, so I've total 3 gazebos. I've had some comments say, oh, you're desperate, or this and that. End of the day, I'm doing it for the people working for me. It's courteous to them to try and get as many days in as we can. They're on day work wage. I'm on price, so it benefits them more than it does me. But if you want to take back control over your winter, old bricklayer who taught me, just would laugh at me what I'm doing now. But I have the ability to do it. I have my own gang. I can do what I want. If I want to set 3 gazebos up and get 200 or 300 blocks leg on a rainy day when the whole site's gone home, I'll do it. It only benefits me. It takes away a lot of the stress that people find in winter. They feel like they lose control of their earnings, lose control of the work. But you can take back a bit of that control with a few gazebos, a bit of planning. Like, I planned out months ago I was going to do these houses and I was going to make the most of it. And so far, I've done it pretty well, to be honest. We had Tuesday off because I didn't have my gazebo, it was at my dad's. And I wasn't 100% sure whether I could use it on that day, which I could have done in hindsight. If I'd have been more prepared, we could have worked. But the weather, it'd give wet from the start, and I don't like to go to site if it's give it rain when we turn up, because we get wet setting it up, which I did get a comment about. We always set these gazebos up when it is dry. It just makes a lot more sense. If there's intermittent rain weather, we'll come in and use it. If if it's going to start at 9 or 10 o'clock, we'll turn up and get it set up straight away, or I'll even get there early before it rains and set them up. So it is something we have to plan out in advance. It isn't always as straightforward as I make out, but it is possible. I'm going to make some more videos when I'm under it, how I work under gazebos. Some of the Collison we're using in summer, I think, on some of his footings and stuff like that. It's more ideal if you're just building block work. If you're building 6-7 course of block, you can go as high as 8, and I bet you can go as high as about 7 course, I think, with a gazebo without it getting in the way. So it's ideal on white work. Any white work, perfect. It'll even stretch over this brickwork at full height we've took. So even if you're building brickwork first, not so much these concretes, they will get a bit wet. It will make a cunt of them. So for us, it's just when we're on block work, really, I can use the gazebo. Maybe some brick in a certain situation. We'll see. We'll see in the future, depending probably on them yellow bricks if we get a yellow plot next. If we get a yellow plot after this other pair that I've been constantly promised. Basically, all I'm trying to do now is get it fucking done as quick as I can, this plot, so next week we've definitely got a drop to drop onto, and that'll keep us going for another couple of weeks then. But without my gazebo escapades are going, we'll not lose as many days as I thought. So I slept all day Tuesday. I slept I'd had three lots of naps, so I was knackered. Takes it out of me with this new working practices. I've got to sort of program the way I think about weather and winter. I was one of these people who hated winter, frustrated me bricklaying in winter. I had so much time off, but now I've got to really think about not just myself and think about people working for me, the missus, Dean. The missus understands more than Dean does, but try to even it benefits me as well. It benefits me. I'm getting the wage as well, so it's all a bonus. And like for instance, I laid 100 blocks with it today, maybe just shy, 160 quid. We took away a lot of the awkward stuff today. We did a lot of the awkward stuff under it. Gazebo cost 50. It's made its money back 3 times there, so that's 150 quid. After paying everyone. Well, I'd already made everyone's wage in the morning, and then I was just basically making some more for my sen. But that's made me 100 quid there, 100 quid profit straight off the bat. I've already made the money back for the gazebo back, when I first used it, but that's 150 quid profit instantly that I wouldn't have earned without it, So it has massive application, People have just got to, you just don't knock it till you try it. People, it is hard, it is crap. It's crap when the fucking rain's blasting off the gazebo and you're fucking underneath it, it's grovelling about laying blocks. But if you get used to it and you make sure you have a couple of hoodies with you, a couple of coats, and just, this is why we're getting a 3 gazebo setup. One for all the tools, make sure they're all off the floor on blocks, and all his, his spare bags with his coats in. One for working under, and then one for the tub and the gear. So we'll have one with, obviously, ideally, where I put the tools is where we're going to be putting his next drop. So we keep both drops tidy and have one over the tubs and the gear to make sure they're not, filling with water, which we had this bit of a problem today. We basically, what we did is to get around this, because we only had one, we had about 6 or 7 buckets. We had some griller tubs, we had buckets, we filled them all up with gobbo, and we left a load of damp over them just outside the gazebo. And then every time we needed a bucket, we just, we filled the boards, and then we got a load of buckets. Instead of leaving it all in the tub, we left it all in buckets. It's a lot easier. If a bit of water gets on the top, you can just pour it off. Whereas in the tub, it just mixes around it really easily. So that's what we did. It's a bit of a gazebo tactic there. People laugh at you, say, "Oh, I've winter off." Fucking, you're desperate. And at the end of the day, if you could do it, you would. If you could earn a wage on a rainy day, a good wage as well, and you feel a bit accomplished. All these times where you've gone home, you've not got, we had the shelter. None of us got wet. We all stayed under the shelter. you know, where you've gone on, rushed around in the rain, got piss wet through, when you could have stood for half an hour under your fucking little shelter, gazebo, whatever, and then got out and carried on working again. And meta wage is a mentality thing. It is, you know, whereas guys will get frustrated, rush around in the rain, fucking get piss wet through instead of getting out of it, working in it, you know, oh, we're gonna carry on and go home early. That old mentality thing, that old, oh, we'll work in it and then we'll get off at dinner. It don't make any sense. Just fucking get out of it, have half an hour. When it slows down or stops, you know, carry on working. If your hoodie's got a bit wet, bring a spare one. It's not fucking rocket science. And you just have a more pleasurable experience in winter. That is the biggest thing that I can't emphasise enough for people. Make life easy, and that's a mentality thing, you know. You've got to switch your mentality. That's all I can say. That's all I can say when it comes to, you know, the gazebo tactics. But yeah, so this episode, gazebo tactics, cut building block corners, traditional bricklayer, etc, etc. 9-inch W rows, that's probably going to be the title as well. I'm normally uploading the videos overnight, so you're probably seeing it publish somewhat early in the morning. So, you know, I apologise if you're missing any vids. I do upload them early in the morning, so just giving you guys, you know, sometimes I get up on a night, but I like to do a bit of gaming and I ain't got time to mess around, make it thumbnail and stuff. So if you're seeing them a day after I made them, I do apologise. I try to take every bit of time for myself I can when everyone's asleep. Especially with having 2 oddies now, I can function. I can work. You know, work with 5-6 hours sleep when I'm not having to carry. So a lot easier for me. So anyway, guys, coming to the end of the video now. I think that's it. I think there's another 3 course to build on this corner, but we'll leave that for we'll leave that for next video. And I'll probably get some more footage to add to that as well on the next one. So hope you guys enjoy the Bricklaying vlogs and stuff like that. Give us a like, comment, you know, let us know what you think. You know, let us know what you think about gazebos, and if, you know, because it does work. It makes you really good money when everyone else has gone home. You know, it has its time and place. You let us know what you reckon about it all. You know, would you use it if you could organise it good enough? You know, is it worth investing that 50 quid to make 4 times that after its first use? I think so. Yeah. Anyway, guys, subscribe, like the videos to spread them about. You know, get a bit more traction out there. You know, if you enjoy the videos, please think about subscribing. Hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time I upload a new video. And don't forget to comment, you know, if you enjoyed the video, and let me know what video you want to see next, what topic you want to see me talk about in the next video. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get off, and I will see you guys in a couple of days with another Bricklaying vlog. So thank you very much for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next one.